to say I am ridiculously excited about today's workout. I've been planning this for a while and thinking about it, and I'm just so excited to finally be filming this and introducing this to you. So today's workout is called Briolates by the Book. Now, what do I mean by the book? So back in the 1940s, a man by the name of Joseph Pilates founded the Pilates method. And that's the method that Briolates is based on. Briolates is kind of a modern adaptation of the Pilates method. And the story of Joe Pilates is so fascinating. I hope if you don't already have my book, that you grab that and that you read the introduction section, because that talks all about Joseph Pilates and just his amazing journey and how he came up with this series of exercises. But I got a hold of his original works, and we are going to take a look at how Joseph Pilates taught some of the exercises that we do all the time in Briolates, some of our classics, some of our favorites, and just kind of learn what the original version was, kind of how he taught it. I think we're gonna find that we look at these exercises in a whole new light, and they suddenly become crazily hard because Joseph was not known for being easy. And so we can take a little bit of his historical wisdom and infuse it into our Briolates practice. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with a quick little warm up just so our bodies are prepared for this, because it is a challenging workout. So let's begin by just sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the crown of the head, tucking the chin, and then rounding the spine. Tuck under with the tailbone and just begin to articulate through the spine. Drop the head down, give a little stretch for the upper back, and then lift up and open the chest. Good. Again, just a little bit of cat and cow from a seated position. Try to exhale as you curl everything in. Inhale as you lift and open. And up. Good, lengthen the spine. Let's bring the arms into the sides, into our W position, and just lower those shoulders as far away from the ears as they will go. We'll begin to lift the arms up toward the ceiling, but the higher the arms come, the lower the shoulders have to come. And that is a really tough feat to accomplish. Oh, it feels like this crazy opposition going on in the shoulders and the upper back. Now pull back in with strength. And now keep the shoulders down just as much as before, but now bring the arms out to the side. Pinch the shoulder blades together, lower the shoulders away from the ears, and you will feel that big time. Into the W, up to the Y, ooh, into the W, and up to the T. Keep some extra tension in the arms as well. Even though we wouldn't have to, right? The arms are just kind of floating through the air. But I want you to imagine that you're pushing and pulling something impossibly heavy. You're just engaging and warming every muscle in the upper body. Lift out to the side and in. Nice work. Now relax the shoulders and the upper back. Just kind of loosen and limber everything out. Bring one arm across, palm is up. And release, move to the other side. Good, and release. Our last warm-up exercise is going to be a plank, because this will really fire up the abdominals and all of the scooping muscles. And believe me, we're gonna need these today. So come on into your plank position. Forearms are down. Flatten the body out. You want a nice straight line from the crown of the head all the way down to the heels. Make sure we're scooped, pulled up and in through the belly. Give a little bit of a pelvic tilt so that the low back doesn't sag, and squeeze the glutes. Tuck the chin so the head is not dropping down toward the floor, but we're lifted and lengthened through the neck. Feel every muscle in the body working to maintain this. Lots of stability going on here. And we'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. And now we will dive in to Briolates by the book. Our first exercise is the 100. Come on down to the mat. And one of the things that really strikes me about Joseph Pilates' instructions for this are that the first thing we do is we pinch the legs together as tightly as possible. So engage those inner thighs, the knees should be touching, the feet should be touching, everything is really engaged. Now we scoop and we pelvic tilt, we straighten the legs as well. And it's almost like when we're pelvic tilting, the fact that we're tilting the pelvis back actually lifts the legs a little bit off of the mat just because the legs are so straight, right? So if we tilt the pelvis, by default, they lift a little bit. Now, if you're not able to maintain this position and keep the low back down, then I want you to bring the legs a little higher for this, okay, and modify this movement a little bit for safety. Now, we're gonna bring the arms angled up toward the ceiling. We're gonna move into our ab prep. Wow, this is so hard. Oh my goodness. And then we go from here to here, essentially with the arms, okay? So just kind of start pumping. Now, of course, he went a little faster. I've got to kind of keep it slow today just so I can maintain control, because if I go any faster, I am going to start bouncing. And our breathing for this, we're going to inhale for 2, exhale 2, inhale 2. I gotta move my legs up a little higher. Whew, wow. Inhale 2, exhale 2. You feel free to do whatever you need to do to maintain that low back down on the mat. Okay, stay safe. 2 more. And knees in and down. So I think if I had to give myself a grade on that, I'd probably get about a C. I couldn't keep my legs down without my low back arching, and obviously that's not safe. So a lot of these things you'll notice that we do today, you might have to make modifications because Joe's version is crazy hard, and that is okay. All right, our next exercise is the roll up. So a couple of things about Joe Pilates' original version. The arms remained at a 90-degree angle to the body as we were rolling up. When we came up and over the legs, he actually wanted you to touch your forehead to your knees. Not sure if that's gonna happen today, but we'll give it a try. Got my rolled up towel because this is virtually impossible for me without it. All right, so this is our starting position, and I'm going to point my toes forward. It's also really important, just like on the 100, that the legs are as straight as possible. He actually said he wanted your knees locked. Now the arms come overhead. We're going to lift them up to a 90-degree angle with the body, and we're gonna try to keep them in this position as we roll up. He wanted you to tuck your chin in toward your chest as you lifted the head. Keep those arms at a 90-degree angle if you can. Oh, lift, lift, lift. And here's where we come up and over. I cannot touch my forehead to my knees, but I'm going to get as far as I comfortably can and then roll back down. Okay, let's try this again. And this time we're gonna add in one more little element. As we come up, there's a 90-degree angle, then we touch the chin to the chest and start rolling. I want you to pull your toes back so now your feet are flexed. But your knees are still touching, your inner thighs are still squeezing, and we roll to the top, come up and over, forehead toward the knees, and roll down. Nice job. So point the toes again here. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, 90-degree angle, chin to chest. As we start rolling, we pull the toes back into a flexed position, and we continue our roll. Coming up and over to your boundary of tension and roll back. Let's try 2 more. Point the toes. Oh boy, this is tough. Inhale, prepare right here. Exhale, 90 degrees, chin to chest, flex the feet, squeeze the legs together, scoop hard, and roll up and over. Nice work. We've got one more. We roll down. Inhale, prepare here. Exhale, 90-degree arms, chin to chest. We roll, we flex the feet, we pinch the legs together, and we come up and over. Articulate up through the spine. Fantastic work. That's the roll up by the book. All right, the next exercise is called rolling back. It's actually the exercise that we now call rolling like a ball. It's the original version of that. So a couple of the key differences. Joe actually had you hug your knees as tightly in toward your body as possible and put your arms around them in this locked position. He also had you initiate the movement with the feet. So the feet were flexed here, and to roll back, he just had you point the toes, and that's what kind of got you started. So let's give it a try and see what happens. So make sure there's room behind you to roll. We're gonna curl and round the spine. Pull the legs in as tightly to the body as you can. Wrap your arms around tightly and kind of lock the arms into this position. Tuck the chin down. Now the feet are flexed here. When we point the toes, that provides just the right amount of momentum to roll us back. Here we go. Point the toes, roll back, keep this position, roll up. Oh, that was hard. Let's try that again. Roll back, roll up. Whew. My arms keep coming out of position. Do the best we can here. Roll down, scoop hard, roll up. And again, roll down, roll up. And one more time, we roll down and roll up and hold. I'd probably give myself like a C- on that one. My arms could not stay around my legs. Definitely tougher than some of our modern day versions. All right, next exercise is called the one leg stretch. It's the precursor to what we now call the single leg stretch in Briolates. Now, a couple of the key differences for this original version, he had you lift your feet about 2 inches off of the floor, and he said it was really important that your chin touched your chest and that you could see your toes on this exercise. So let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Come on down to the mat. We're just gonna keep one leg up for now. The other leg, I want you to, if you can, lift it a couple of inches off of the floor. Do your pelvic tilt and imprint into the mat. And then go ahead and actually bring your chin down toward your chest and start to curl your body up until you can see your toes out there on that side. Then you're gonna take your arms and hug them in, and Joe actually had you pull your knee closer in toward your chest. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, switch. Good, we're moving slowly here so we can maintain our form. Remember, the leg that stretches out needs to be about 2 inches off the floor, so that's pretty low. And the other knee is hugging really tightly into the chest. And we'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more time, 1, and release. Our next exercise is the double leg stretch. Some of the key differences between Joe's version and the version we do today. When the legs were outstretched, he actually had you kind of hug the legs in with your palms and use your hands to press your legs together. So let's try it. Starting here, we're going to imprint and scoop. Your legs should be straight, inner thighs squeezing together, knees locked, and toes pointed. Now we're gonna lift up into our ab prep position. If it's comfortable and safe for you to lift your legs a couple of inches off the floor, you can go ahead and do that, but use your arms to help you. I want you to squeeze your legs with your palms. Now pull the knees in and hug both knees in toward the chest, and then inhale back to the starting position. Exhale, knees come in, hug in toward the chest. Inhale, extend, stay imprinted and squeeze the legs with your palms. Exhale in, inhale, extend. Exhale, pull. Inhale, extend low back, stays pressed into the floor the whole time. Very important, so we keep that spine safe. Extend, feel free to modify the height of the legs. If you want to bring them out to like 45 degrees, that's totally fine. If 2 inches off the floor, it's just feeling a little too low. One more time. And legs in and down. All right, next up we have what Joe called the spine stretch. Today we call it the spine stretch forward, but it kind of comes from the same place and you'll see some similarities. So in Joe's original instruction, he had you bring the legs as far apart as possible, and he had you flex your feet back and then make 3 successive movements forward. So let's give that a try. Legs as far apart as possible. Ooh, wow. Or at least to your boundary of tension. We don't want to go any beyond that, but make sure that they're feeling kind of stretched out here. Now flex the feet, so you're pulling the toes in toward you. Bring the hands down to the center, lengthen the spine. Now Joe had you touch your chin toward your chest and then begin rounding, and he had you make 3 deliberate movements. So 1, 2, 3 to your boundary of tension, and then roll up. Be real careful on those 3 that we're not bouncing or overstretching. So inhale, inhale, inhale to the boundary of tension, no farther, and then exhale, articulate up. Good, couple more times. And just like we always say in Briolates, we want to imagine that there's that beach ball in front of us because we want to be scooped the whole time. And we really want to be drawing in and up with the belly. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Are your feet so flexed? And exhale, last one. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Nice job. All right, and the last exercise we're going to do today by the book is the spine twist. So in the original repertoire of Joseph Pilates, he actually had you twist in 3 successive movements to the side and then come back to the center, just to exaggerate the stretch a little bit. He also had you bring the legs as far apart as possible and flex the feet, just like we did a moment ago on the spine stretch forward. So let's do that. Legs, again, as far as possible within reason, okay? Coming to your boundary of tension. Flex the feet back. He had you bring your arms up to shoulder height, just like we typically do. But one little difference is he actually had you then bring the arms back, kind of move them back toward the wall behind you until you feel your shoulder blades lock. And this was the position for twisting. We don't typically do that today. All right, so give that a try. And then we're gonna twist to the side, 3 successive movements. So it's exhale as we twist, 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 and then inhale back to center. Other side, twist, 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 back to center. Make sure that we're not over twisting, just to the boundary of tension. So it's exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist, 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 and center. Wow. Now don't let the legs get lazy, okay? Make sure that those toes are still staying nice and flexed. Hold toward you. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, center. One more each side. And center, last one other side. Make sure we are scooped here. Center and down. Oh, bring those legs in. Those legs got a nice stretch, didn't they? So that was Briolates by the book. I hope it was a little bit of a fun change of pace to experience some of the exercises that we're really familiar with, but to be able to see how they were originally taught way back when Joseph Pilates invented this method that we're all still using today, which is incredible. And again, I would really encourage you, especially if you haven't already, to grab the Briolates book here and read the first chapter. It tells you all about the history of Pilates. It tells you about Joseph Pilates and how he invented the method. It's a fascinating story. All right, that's it for today. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. See you next time. Bye-bye.